Okay, let's try this 2 times over. I don't know what happened. We went live and it glitched off. So, hello, welcome, friends. Happy Monday. We are live. I am live. Okay, that is what did not happen at 8. I am so glad we are here. We have hit the holidays wherever you are tuning in from. Take a breath, no matter what day or time you are tuning in and you are checking in. Remember, this moment is the only one that actually matters. What's interesting is you hear the word matter. This moment right now is matter, frequency created. We can go back and imagine all the memories and thoughts that just happened 1 minute ago, 5 minutes ago, 1 year ago, but they are memories, frequency memories. And they hold emotional charges. So when we decide to go back and replay all of those memories, let's say from the past year, your body doesn't know the difference between what is actually happening and what it is actually experiencing in this moment right now, and everything that you've had happen to you in this past year. So in this past year, all of your stresses, traumas and dramas, if you keep replaying those in your mind, you're going to keep feeling those emotions over and over again. This is similar to actually what PTSD is. It's a trauma that becomes glitched into your energetic field. And it doesn't only have to be people at war. It can be any kind of emotional abuse, physical abuse. It can be stress at work. It can be something that, it can even be a car accident. And experiencing that sort of trauma and stress, it creates a frequency that can become lodged in your field. And it can replay in your mind over and over and come back up and resurface and recycle and make you feel all of those emotions all over again. And when that happens, your energy drops and you begin to feel unwell. And there's a threshold. So let's imagine that you're standing on this threshold. You're standing on it. And what's underneath that threshold is stress, frustration, irritation, disappointment. And this keeps going a little bit lower. And this can, when we begin to sink, almost like, I want you to imagine quicksand. I want you to imagine that when you're sinking on this, and you're standing on this threshold, but you begin to think and relive and replay your past year. And unless your past year was nothing but roses, daffodils, lilies, you had the best year ever, which I do recommend. That is the only energy frequency you bring with you into this upcoming year. Anything that caused you stress, trauma, drama in any way from family, friends, or work, I would like you to release it and leave it in this year. Imagine putting it into a book. Look, here we go. A year to remember. Just put it in here, even mentally. Every time you have something, just open it up and download it. Like imagine you're in Hogwarts and you can just put a memory into the book. You can even take the pen if it helps, like, and then put it in here. And just keep doing that throughout your year. Because like I said, there's this threshold, and imagine you're on quicksand. And when these situations and circumstances happen, that allows you to sink a little bit further in that quicksand. And the first signs that you're sinking, there are symptoms. And these symptoms are unease, irritation, frustration, stress, self-harm. Self-harm is one. You kind of get so frustrated and you load up these poison darts and you don't know where to put them, so you shoot them at people. Neighbors, when you're driving, anyone have road rage? I know you're out there. And we shoot those at people because we don't know how to transmute that energy that has been built up inside of us. So I want you to keep in mind how you're feeling coming out of 2025 and moving into 2026. because 2026 is all about choices. I want you to think about that for a second. It sounds so simple, all about choices, but our choices are so important. For example, choices, we have goals that we're setting. Are we going to make certain changes and adjustments in our life that is going to support us to accomplishing these goals that we set out for ourselves? Or are we going to make choices like sleeping in? Yeah, we had a goal. Sure, we did. The gym. Yeah, we're going to not, I don't know, eat meat, cut back on sugar. Those are mine. I want to cut back on sugar. So I want to know, I want you to think about it. You have a few weeks left in December, and we are moving into 2026. And I believe it's going to be a very, very interesting, energetic year. And for those of you who understand anything about energy and alchemy and frequency, understand that you are creating your reality right now as we speak. Okay, I had someone asking where Jax is. Jax had a meeting tonight. I'm not sure if she's plugging in or not, and that's okay. We do have a reading coming in. I have to send her the link actually, because this link got a little messed up. So I'm going to invite her in. Let's see, invite guest. She came with us from Spirit Fest, and she's been waiting a couple weeks for a reading. So I decided to bring her online. And so guys, I don't think I'm going to disappear for a second. Oh, and I have some funny pictures to show you. We are probably breaking for the holidays. This is potentially our last show before the holiday hits. I know there's going to be some restructuring, and there's a lot of really fun, interesting things coming up. Let's see. I'm going to add this link. Paste and send. Yes. So here's something that's so awesome that I have coming up, and I want to let you guys know. And this has been in the planning for a while. It's a podcast, and I know we're doing a live show, and I love that. But what I want to do is be able to interview, and I have been interviewing all sorts of metaphysicians, light workers, healers, empaths, psychics, mediums. And what I've been doing is, hold on, sorry, I have to send this to our guest copy. What I've been doing is interviewing them and asking them the set and series of questions. And what's been so fascinating so far is learning that they're all answering the questions the same way. And I love it here. And it's not exactly the same, but they're interpreting source and frequency, God, metaphysics. We're going to talk about, aliens. How many of you have had any experience with the extraterrestrial star family? I know you have. Many of us have. And there's some news coming out that's saying they're coming to introduce themselves to us. I've heard 26, 27, 28, 29. But then part of me is like, how often have we heard this? And I want to let you know, for any of you who are watching, they are communicating to us right now, but they communicate to us telepathically. And they communicate to us telepathically. New stream. They communicate to us telepathically because the government is not giving them permission to speak to us directly. I mean, it'd be kind of interesting if we saw like an extraterrestrial on like the TV station. Could you imagine? That'd be really fascinating. I'll be sad. Oh, you'll be sad, Tim, that it's the last live stream. I know. And, we may pop on, so it's not 100%, but I would most likely say that we are restructuring. So I have this podcast coming out. I know that I will be definitely still streaming and definitely still out there. It's just going to be restructuring and organizing. I believe we're moving most of what we're doing to YouTube. So we may or may not be on Facebook, but definitely we'll be on YouTube. And Tim, you're already on YouTube, so that's awesome. You'll be able to find everything we're doing there. And I appreciate you dropping in, as always. Okay, so something interesting happened. And I just before this, I popped up my phone, which, by the way, Source communicates and our guides communicate to us all the time, full time. For those of you who are not quite developing that relationship quite yet, full time, I want to let you know that they're so prevalent that they'll send things through the phone. They send things through the neighbors. If I can't get a message, someone will call me and tell me the message. It's bizarre. And they want to communicate with you the same way. And for everyone, there's not any one person that they're not communicating with. It's just you have to open up your mind and allow yourself to receive, like an antenna, the information, because we're like radio receivers and antennas, and the information is coming through, and we want to make sure we're listening in. I do understand that it may be invisible to you, but you also have to keep in mind that the human eye and the human spectrum is only like the size of this little stick. See how thin that is? That's all that we're able to see. And look at how I'm all around you. So this is like you, and you're seeing things, and I'm like your guides, and I'm like, listen, I'm trying to tell you something. And you're like, I don't know. I don't think God's around me. I'm like, I'm right here. Hello. Don't go on that date with that person. It's not the right person. Don't take that job. Take this other job. And so what you want to do is, you're this little person, is you want to make sure you're practicing and listening and trusting and being able to receive. And what's so fascinating about this popping up on my phone is this is how it's another form of communication to me. I do not know. I don't remember writing this. I don't know how this got on my phone. I have no recollection of writing this at all. I don't know if I wrote this or I copied this from someone else, because I don't know where this came from. But it says October 22nd, 2025 at 7:03 p.m. And it says Truth Talk 1 minute manifest. No recollection of this. And what I love is it says Stories with Spirit. And it says the top 5 questions to ask yourself right now. And I was surprised by this, and I loved reading them. And the first question said, do you trust God? Like, I do trust God. And I know that everyone has a different interpretation of what their higher spirit is, and what that higher frequency is, and what that communication is. And it's okay however that comes up for you, but do know that it is there, and it loves you, and you're absolutely perfect exactly as you are, where you are, existing as you are. And I know sometimes that can feel difficult, because we have so many questions like, why, just why, where did I write in here that I wanted to experience that? I'd like a rewrite, please. But the reality is, you actually set up these lessons with God, with your guides, and with your frequency, and with your energy, and with your soul's growth before you came down here. You actually had a whole life plan mapped out. And if you study near-death experiences, you will see over and over and over, thousands of people say the same thing. There is a life plan, and we set this up before we come. Now, if there was one person saying it, I get it. 2 people, okay, maybe. Thousands of people who have crossed over and come back. They bring us messages. And many of them say, there's a life plan, there's a review. And not only that, many of the metaphysicians, the lightworkers, the healers, Dolores Cannon, Michael Newton, they say the same thing. So in my field of metaphysics, this is common knowledge. So that was the first question. And you may want to really ask yourself vibrationally, do you trust God? Whew. And that's a hard one too, because like your tire's flat, you can't pay your bill. Maybe you're facing a sickness or an illness. Maybe there's some family situations, but do you trust that you are being divinely guided? And yeah. Number 2, do you rely on God? And I do. So I do. I rely on God. In fact, right now, I have so much chaos spinning in my axis, and I have given it all to God, because I'm not dealing with it. No, it's too much for me. I'm just as human. All I can see is about this much of the reality that's actually going on. I want the guy behind, I want the guy behind the scenes to handle that stuff for me. So I'm giving it to him. Finances, and it's not a him, it's not a her. There's no, there's feminine and masculine energy everywhere, and it's all beautiful and it's all perfect and it's all within us as well. We have divine feminine and divine masculine within us. Number 3, do you believe God has your back? Do you believe God has your back? I believe that God has my back. And that goes into my car being stolen. My car was stolen. I found out at noon. I went into relying on God, trusting God, and I said, okay, if you need my car is yours, God. And remember, here's me. If you need my car, take it. I trust you. If you need it for whatever reason, I am in service to my higher power and to God and to this universe. I'm here on earth just having fun and being in service. I'm not taking any of this too seriously, and neither should you. From then, my car keys were brought back to me within the hour, which, by the way, would have been several $100s for me to have had to get my car towed and then or replace my key. Keys came. Within another 2 hours, my car came back to me undamaged. They even left my Amazon gift card inside. God just needed my card. And you know what? I felt there was a young girl that had my keys. And I believe the cop said she was about 15. And I heard that the lesson here was for her, because whoever had stolen my car gave her the keys and told her to go out and speak to the police. And she was shaking in her boots, and she was 15. And I believe at that moment she understood this was not the life she wanted for her, that she has a higher power and a greater gift, and that maybe she's going to do something with her life and it's not going to be ending up in jail. And whoever it was that gave her my keys and stole my car and sent her outside to deal with the cops, she got a real understanding of that that's not the life that she wants. I think I might have saved her life. And I love that. And also, because I happened to have an air tag on my keys, the cops were able to go to that house, which meant that if there were other children, and I mean teens involved, they understood that they almost got caught and they almost went to jail, and their life potentially could be turned around. That's why God needed my car. See? And I knew that. I didn't freak out. I didn't scream, yell, and cry. Why did you take my car? I said, you know what? Take it. It's yours anyway. So, number 4, do you listen when God guides you? Yes. Do you believe God has your back? Yes. Do you put God's voice first? So that's a big one too. God's voice first. There's multiple voices in our heads all the time. Be honest. They're all there. When you start listening to them, they call you schizophrenic. And the schizophrenia people just have a veil. They are just, see, this is us again. This is all we can see. The schizophrenic people are bleeding into the veil. And so they're hearing everything. They really just need some spiritual training more than meds, but we're not there yet as a society. We are still very archaic in our education system when it comes to that. Having said that, God's voice. So there's a voice in your head that is going to be like, you suck. You're not good enough. Who wants to listen to you? Do you really think you can do that? Can you really change your life? That person doesn't like you. That person doesn't love you. So anything that comes in that tells you like that person doesn't care about you, they don't love you, all of the nonsense, all of that, what you would consider, remember that threshold I was talking about? When you sink underneath that threshold and you start getting that irritation, frustration, anger, depression, self-harm, that symptom down there, that's when all these other voices start, they have access to you down in this threshold. And that's why they're like, clear your mind. They say that because if your mind is clear, you're not irritated, you're not frustrated, you're not angry, and you're not sinking below this threshold. You can stand on top of it, where we're trusting, we have faith, we know what voice we're listening to. So the voice you want to listen to is the one that says, you're amazing, you're perfect, you're beautiful, you're needed, your voice matters, you're creative. You're here for a reason. The universe created just you. Oh, I have something to show you actually about this. So this came in a meditation, a download, which I get downloaded all the time. So this came in a download. The cross is not what you think it is. And I know people might, I don't know if people are going to get weird about it. I don't know, but this is my download. The universe isn't a type of grid. It's a grid system. I know people have seen this. There's a lot, and again, in the world of metaphysics, many people have seen this. So in this grid system, you are right there. And this can only be your spot. I can't take this spot. It's your spot. And Tim, this is your spot. And Kimberly, this is your spot. And anyone else who's listening, this is your spot. It can only be yours. So when you think that you're not important or you don't matter, you're not good enough, or why are you here, and you question your purpose, that is how valuable you are. You have your own grid. You have your own grid line on the universe. And what's so cool about this point that belongs to just you is it has your own frequency. You resonate a frequency out of your cross point, your grid point, and it's your unique signature, and it's as unique as your fingerprint. Now here's what's also cool about that is that so for example, the words coming out of my mouth, I'm receiving information from the universe and I'm translating that information. It can only come out through my mouth with my words, through my frequency point. It's mine. And you have yours. So every word you speak is how the universe channels and translates, comes right down into you and comes out through your mouth, through your eyes, through your actions. It's only through you that it can see certain things in a particular way. It's as unique as your fingerprint. So even the way you taste food, pizza, if you can believe it, tastes different to every single person on this planet. And if they had pizza on Mars, the Martians, every one of them would taste it differently. Every time you look at a flower, you perceive it as unique as your fingerprint. And the universe gets to appreciate that perception through your eyes, just yours, because you have your point on the grid. Yeah, I know, because I knew the cross. I was like, I know that this isn't about this poor, beautiful light worker healer that we love as Jesus being murdered and strung up on a cross. I know God enough to know that that is not what we were meant to be doing with it. But yet the cross means something. So it took me a very long time to understand what it meant, but I've been seeking, and then it came to me, and then I realized that I have it tattooed on my arm, and I never even knew what it meant. God, I love that. Yeah. Well, let's see how I can get it in here. Okay, let's turn it. So I don't know if you can really see it, but there's the rose coming through, which is so cool. I tattooed this before I even knew what it meant. My son drew this. The rose is a universal source energy coming through, and here it is. And there's a rose in the middle, not that you can see, but that is my point. That's our point. It's on my arm. It was there all along. Who knew? Anyway, this is my life. This is your life. This is how the universe is communicating to you and through you. And again, I'm going to impress the importance of this because, again, if you are angry, then the universe experiences anger through you as well. If you are angry at people when you're driving, and if you are mean and frustrated and maybe disrespectful to your family, the universe experiences that as well, and God experiences that as well through you. And it hurts. It's like I don't want to feel that way. I see love. God sees love. God is love. We know that. I believe that's common knowledge, that God is unconditional love. And so when God experiences hatred for this person and that one, this one hates that one, and this is separation, and and I was raised in a Christian the unity. So we were mother, father, God, very open Christian household. And not only that, very metaphysical and very spiritual. And we were raised to love all humans. We were raised to love all sentient beings. We were raised to love all pathways that lead to the frequency of source energy and love and mother, father, God, and let there be peace on earth. That's how we were raised in my Christian religion, if you could call it that. So when I hear Christians saying certain things, I bring it to their attention that, Jesus was love, God is love. We know this. The entire religion foundation of Christianity is love. So how can we say, well, we love those people over here, but we hate those people over there, and we want bad things to happen to them, and we don't believe that they have the same rights as us, and we don't believe that they deserve to feel love, and we believe we want to persecute other people. But I know that thou shalt not judge is written in like the first few lines of the Testament, the commandments. But I don't know. I know y'all would know more. But thou shalt not judge, and forgive them, for they know not what they do. These are two very important. I mean, this is like, the PR work of the frequency. Like, everyone knows those words. And so I just want to allow you to really, if nothing more, figure out and embody what that really means to you. I mean, thou shalt not judge. How many times have you judged just today? Even if it's yourself, just yourself. How many times have you judged? The neighbor, your sister, your brother, your uncle, your mother, your father, those people at work, when you were driving, the Starbucks barista. So how many times have you passed judgment? Your face, your wrinkles, your hair, your skin. Are your jeans fitting a little too tight? How many times have you judged your partner today, if you have a partner? How many times have you judged the fact that maybe you might feel alone? Or maybe there's just this girl at work that every day you walk in and she frustrates the heck out of you. I want you to remember this, thou shalt not judge. But what does that really mean? That just means that the judgment comes from a higher pay grade than us. The judgment comes from the higher ups, and actually it's not really there, but it's not from us. It's not meant to be for us, because when we judge, let's say, that person, that girl, let's just call her some girl. Let's call her, Karen at work. Sorry for all the Karens out there, but Karen at work, just running you nuts every day. She's mean, she's rude, she's irritable. You walk in and you're just frustrated and irritated. All you're doing is linking into her frequency. You're plugging in to Karen's energetic frequency. And the next thing you know, you're getting fed back that, and you're not feeling good. And now Karen and you are feeling really cranky, really irritable, really at each other. You're just at each other, just right? And now Karen goes home to her partner, and you go home to your partner, your children, and it spreads. Everyone's getting yelled at on the car. Oh, that guy cut me off. The Winn-Dixie, Publix, she can't bag those groceries far enough. I have to get gas. This guy won't move out of the way. So now, when we don't even know where Karen got this from, and Eckhart Tolle calls it the pain body, but it's that irritating monkey that lives on us. We got the black wolf and the white wolf. We have the angel and the devil. We have the pain body, and meditation. So it's there. We have the light and the dark. We just don't want to be feeding the dark side, if I could sum that up. And thou shalt not judge is the way that they said it, 2,000 years ago, however long. Don't math fact check me. But back then, thou shalt not judge. That was their way of saying, guys, don't feed the dark side, because it just wants to pull your energy and use it. Because when your energy sinks underneath that threshold of frustration, irritation, negativity, darkness, all of that, that has it's a food source. It's an energetic food source. And I can't go into all sorts of details about that today, but it likes you in that state, which is why thou shalt not judge follows forgive them. Forgive them. So we're going to forgive Karen. We're going to forgive Karen right now. What can you forgive right now? Can you forgive yourself? Maybe let's start there. Can you forgive yourself for some of the choices that you've made today, last week, a month, a year, 5 years, 10 years since birth? Can you forgive yourself? What can you forgive? Just feel it. Just allow that frequency to enter your field. Feel it for a moment. right? We want to feel that. And for me, I need to work on forgiving myself a lot. I'm hard on myself. Everyone has a different way of dealing with the symptoms of a lower vibrational energetic field. Some people turn that into self-harm. I do. I'm a self-harm. I'm like I'll take it out on myself. Other people take it out on others. And keep that in mind. If you're that person, it's okay if you are. You're either giving it to you or giving it to someone else. Not that it's okay, but notice it, because you don't want to be that person anymore, where you're angry and Karen made you mad at work. The guy cut you off. The Starbucks barista messed up your coffee. You need gas, and your card is, I don't know, whatever it is. Enter annoying situation and chaos. Are you sharing and spreading that information to others? And it looks something along the lines of venting and unloading your entire day on your partner. And another thing. Oh, and another thing. And guess what happened? And Karen did this and this and this. And your partner's like really doing their best to intake all of that. But I want you to keep in mind that you're downloading that much negativity onto your partner and asking them to transmute that frequency for you, because you don't know where else to put it. You don't know where it goes. And the thing is that unless your partner is properly trained, your partner doesn't know where to put it either. And they may take it because they love you and respect you and want to be there for you. So they take it. But they are taking it. And it's getting inside of them also. And they may not show you right away. They may be able to breathe. But when they take a step back from you, they're going, that was a lot. And maybe they're saying, that was draining. That really drained me. Maybe they don't even know why. They don't feel good now. And now guess what? They're either going to sleep having bad dreams, or they are now mean to the neighbor when they go outside. They're walking the dog and they yank the dog's chain a little too hard. Come on, let's go. And they're like, why did I do that? Well, because the energy just transferred from me to you. So don't be that energy transfer. You want to make sure that you're not that guy. Let me check in with our reading. Hi, are you coming on? Here we go. I had to change StreamYard, so she might be a little confused. She's probably waiting on our other StreamYard feed. Whoops. But anyway, so here we go. And I have a couple of funny other things that I want to show you. I've been messing around with, and this is just, let me break up our conversation for a second. I have discovered AI pictures. And they are hilarious. Okay, I'm going to show you one. Ready? Okay, let's do this one. Check out my Christmas date. Oh, yeah, there he is. I think we look good together. Wait, let me see it. What do you think? Wait, hold on. Wait. What about this one? Oh, now I got Jackson there. Jackson in? Anyone know him? Yeah, we love him too. Let's see what this one is. Oh yeah. All right, guys. Just want to let you know that's my Christmas. Yep. So for those of you who want to play around with AI, have fun. Now I want to, before we head out, which I'm going to stay for a little bit longer, we are breaking for Christmas. Again, I know I spoke about this in the beginning. I want to remind you, I am starting a podcast. I had a show running called The Kristen O Show for 5 years. It was a lot of fun and I loved it. But I think Just Call Chris is my business name. So I think I'm going to call it Just Call Chris Podcast, something along those lines. And I'm going to be interviewing anyone, and that includes any of you who are listening anywhere. There's the phone number, 561-0808. Get a hold of me. And I want to interview you. And my questions are, what is your experience with spirit? Because here's the cool thing. I've been traveling with Spirit Fest for a year, and I've done hundreds of talks at this point. And actually, in January, I will be releasing those talks and that footage out to the public. And I also have a TEDx scheduled for next year, which I am going to be speaking about the power of a single choice, because it is in our micro choices that is creating our very reality right now. So if this resonates with you and you feel you have a story, a story about source, and it can be something as simple as you thought it was a coincidence. Something as simple as what has been your journey to learn to speak to God, to your guides, to your angels. So I want to hear from you, and it's going to be a series of questions because in my past year I have found that everyone has the same beautiful stories and beautiful messages, and they're also very, very similar. So like I said, we can speculate when there's one or two, but when there's hundreds and hundreds of the same stories over and over and over again, it very much so changes the way you perceive your relationship with source. And my mission here on earth, God has given me this mission, is to introduce as many to you as I possibly can about source energy. And as long as I introduce you to your own guides and to your own messages, then God takes it from there with you. God takes it from there. So the holidays are coming back up, and holidays can be a very big source of stress, meaning that if you don't have plans, if you find yourself alone, then you feel really, in a way, you can feel lonely, and you can feel perhaps you're missing that other person, even if it's just a friend. But on the other side of that coin, you also have some of that anxiety where, okay, I have to go see my family. And if you think that you're healed and cured and you and your therapist are really doing well, and then you go visit your family, woo, all right, everyone knows. And as much as I would love, and if you have the absolute most perfect family in the world, I would love to hear from you because I just want to know what that feels like, sounds like, looks like. But for the rest of us, we have a little bit of a motley crew going on. We never know if, your auntie's coming a bottle of wine in, or which family member is getting into a fight, which one's going to drink a little too much, right? Kids are going to be fighting in the back. Someone is screaming. Someone didn't bring the right gift. Someone forgot the cheesecake, right? It happens. And so I want you to remember, number one, thou shalt not judge, and forgive them, for they know not what they do. So if you can master that and just keep that in mind, which means, remember, if there's anything that feels like it's too much for you, give it to God. Just give it to God. God will take care of everything for you if you just give God the opportunity to work with you, support you, communicate with you. And then if you're listening to that voice that tells you how great you are and how you have a purpose and a mission, and that God is also wanting you in alignment with your frequency, which is very interesting because here's another one. Your frequency aligns with your freedom. Right? So if we're feeling oppressed or controlled or our energy, we want to align our frequency differently. Low vibrational frequency, the one I told you about that trickles you down there, that equals a feeling of being trapped in life. Like, what are you going to do? How are you going to make this? What, blah, 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 blah. And that is when your trigger warning system should go off that you've dropped lower in that threshold. You need to meditate your way out of that. Don't judge your life at that moment and forgive what needs to be forgiven. The most powerful, and it sounds like a Hallmark card, but the most powerful frequency we have is gratitude. What's one of the most? It's the top 5, is gratitude. So whenever you're not feeling very healthy energetically, I want you to stop what you're doing, whether you're still in bed or what it is that you're doing, and just think of 5 to 10 things that you're grateful for. I do this before I get out of bed in the morning. I won't even get out of bed because when you wake up in your day, you're like, oh, I have quite the day ahead of me. I'm not getting out. I'm so grateful that I have a squishy, cushy mattress. It's so squishy. And I'm so grateful for my pillows. I really love my pillows. And I'm so grateful for my blanket. I have this special blanket that I carry with me everywhere. Don't judge me, but it's super soft. And I'm very grateful for my blanket. And then since I've decided, why live without the pets on the bed? All my animals get to come on the bed and I get to cuddle with them. Even though there's fur, I am so happy cuddling with my animals. So this is my morning routine before I even put my 2 feet on that floor. But when my 2 feet go on that floor, guess what? It's not a dirt floor. It's not a rock floor and it's not outside. So I'm also very grateful that I have a floor that I get to step on. And then I have 2 feet that I get to walk with. Some people don't have 2 feet. And some people aren't able to walk. And then I have a bathroom with running water. And this is just how I really try to work through my day. Now, I know a lot of you are seeing the synchronistic numbers. You're seeing the 111s, 222, 333, and all that. That there's so many different reasons, but a big reason is because your guides and your frequency want you to check in. How are you feeling? Are you feeling grateful or are you feeling irritable? Right? Have you gone through, your list? Who do you need to forgive? Because, even right now, I had a dog who just yanked a bag over and the stuff went everywhere and I had to clean it up. Even that small, mini chaotic situation brings irritation and frustration. Like, I have to clean this up. Why did you do that? You expected the dog not to do that. So all of a sudden, you're frustrated. Now you're walking around, move, dog, and I got to get this and I got to clean this up. I don't have time for this. If you find yourself saying, I don't have time for this, is stop. That is your trigger word. Stop what you're doing. Check into your present moment awareness. How are you feeling? Where's your frequency? Where's your energy? How are you feeling? As she said, she's been on. We had to switch the feed. We've also been waiting. I knew she was waiting on there. Click the second link. We'll see if she comes on. Poor thing. I know she's been waiting. I'm sorry for that. So we do have a reading. I think she is going to come on. It is a little bit late. She's about 15 minutes late, but I'll give her the reading anyway. And again, when we do this reading, these are energetic frequency healing cards. Oh, I got to tell you, I do have some energy healing frequency cards that are coming out, and I'm very excited. And I want to call them the mind. So there's going to be a deck of mind cards, mental cards, because a lot of us have a lot of stuff going on in our mind. And so I really want to focus on mastering some of the energetic frequencies that we find in our mind, because a lot of our belief systems have come from our past and they come from our family and our lineal roots. And it causes us to see and distort sometimes perceptions. And even it causes damages in our relationships. So I'm going to have a mind energy healing deck. Then I'm going to have a body energy healing deck, because when I started taking anatomy and physiology in school, I started seeing body organs, which was very fascinating. Started seeing body organs there, and the heart started speaking to me. The blood started speaking to me. The liver, the gallbladder, everything was fascinating. So I'm going to have that. And then I'm going to have spirit, which is when your guides come in, your angels, your star family, God, your frequency. So those are coming out in a set of healing deck cards sometime next year. So I'm super excited about that. So these are energy healing cards, and this is what we'll be reading today. So who's ever listening from wherever you're listening to, these energy frequency cards, they're healing for everyone who listens. I listen to them every single day. They're energetic healing. Okay, we have our guest. Here she is. Let me bring her on. Hi, Carol.
Hi there. How are you?
How are you? So I knew you were over there, but we were live on this stream and there was no way I could click out of that. I know we had to switch. So the first live stream went through and then it just clicked off and we had to do a whole nother one. So I sent it to you. But anyway, welcome.
Thank you. So appreciate you having me.
Yeah. So tell me, I don't think I was able to meet you. I don't think I was able to meet you at Spirit Fest. Did we meet?
I think we had a little exchange.
Okay.
And you were in the process of just getting online with people or on the live cam. So it was, you were preoccupied. How about that?
Preoccupied. Well, I'm so glad we made it on finally. I'm glad. I was like, where is she? I know she's here. I know she's in that other stream, but I couldn't click off because Jax wasn't able to make it tonight.
Okay.
Yeah. So, okay. Well, Carol, I'm going to ask you to take a breath. There we go. 1, 2, 3. Okay. So I allow the cards to kind of pull as they need to. And I want to ask you, are you in a current relationship?
Yes, I am.
Okay. All right. Because I do see him here. I do see him.
Okay.
But what I have found, and the reason why I'm now having to ask, is because I have found that spirits from the other side have also now shown me when they pull up men or women, I have found that sometimes it's on the other side. So I have to ask, in a relationship with a living person, which I see as a yes.
Okay.
Yep.
That's it.
Yep. And then I'm going to pull these one more. We pulled double decks because when we know what has to take place, it helps to have the double decks here. Okay. Okay. So I do see that you are, and I'm going to give you, so it goes like a bit of a story. So your guides would like you to know that you are actually very connected.
Sorry.
You're actually very connected with source, with spirit, with frequency. They've been communicating to you your entire life. And they want to tell you something, and I want to let you know, sometimes it can be a lot to hear, but they're telling me just to let you know that you're actually an ascended master here on this planet in this particular life.
Hmm.
And it can be a lot. Some people are like, that's kind of a lot, Kristen, to take on. But this particular card doesn't pull for everyone. It only pulls for ascended masters. It's kind of more of a rare card to get. Now, that doesn't mean that you've necessarily decided to pursue that, but that means that you're a frequency holder of the universe and of high consciousness and of 5D living here on the planet. And what they're telling me is that they've been working with you, and you have so many gifts inside of you, so much wisdom and kindness and love and caring and just wisdom. They're telling me, like, you're so wise, like you have so much to share, and they want you to make sure that you're doing what you need to do to allow those gifts to be able to be seen and shared. Because right now in your environment, it may not be entirely the best environment for you or the healthiest environment for your soul to shine the way it came to earth to shine with a mission and with a frequency. So they're asking for a little bit of change to take place in your environment. And they're letting me know, like, you're aware of the things that need to shift and need to be moved around and need to be kind of anything in your life that's bringing that lower vibrational energetic stream. And actually, that's what we were talking about this whole session, actually, was lower vibrational energetic streams. We are all in it because that's Earth. Welcome to Earth. And we are all exposed to it on a relatively frequent frequency, right? But it's up to us, especially as ascended masters and light workers and healers, it's up to us, especially, to make the necessary choices and changes to become and allow ourselves to remember what it felt like to look through the eyes of a child. And I say that because, and even in the Bible we hear, it's heaven on earth, become like the eyes of the child and you'll be able to see. And so what that means is we want to make sure we're literally looking at a flower and all we're doing is loving just that flower and appreciating everything that we have around, because some of the energy in your field is kind of like a lack of compromise, which means we're struggling a bit with compromise, and sometimes we're having to compromise who we are on the inside in order to kind of keep things going and keep things calm and keep things flowing in our life and keep everyone happy. And sometimes that can make us feel a little maybe lonely or a little pulled back, a little isolated, but we want to remember that your guides want that full-time connection with you. And we want to keep in mind that, you know, you have a purpose here and your voice matters. And you have this creative side to you, and they want you in this creative field. They want you to have these new visions that are coming through. Maybe slowing down just a little, so we're not kind of thinking, how do I do this? What you pulled, interestingly, like 2 or 3 become like a child card again. So they really want like this lightness. They want you to bring back your love, and they want you to bring back your happiness and your joy and just your joy of existing, not just kind of living, because that's what we're doing, is living. And that means that there may be some shifts that have to move around, like things might need to be moved around so that we can rebuild a bit of a life that our soul feels more in alignment with. Also, I see a bit of sorrow that's around. It pulled a couple times. Do we have sorrow? Are we sad about something? Do we have some of that?
A little bit. Uh-huh.
Yeah. So remember, and I bring this back, that when we hold the energy frequency of sorrow, that generally comes a lot from circumstances and situations that have happened in our past, and we can't go back and fix them, and we can't change them, um, and we can't, we can't shift and change that. But what we can do is potentially make a different choice on what Carol needs moving forward, because Carol is the only one who can take care of Carol. And there is not anyone else in your life that is qualified to take care of you. It's not, we wish there were. We wish our partner
Right.
had all the answers. We wish our kids could just fix it, but they can't. So you have to make these choices and decisions for yourself right now. And they're really asking for you to do this. Like, they want you to really find that courage inside of you and face anything that you feel might be what ifs. Well, what if this happens? What if that happens? And how am I going to navigate this? And what does this look like? And there's a bit of fear there, and they want you to understand that. They want you to turn that into courage and strength, and remembering that your guides are protecting you. You're a master here, because right now you're a little bit exhausted, and sometimes in some of your environment it can make your mind feel a little foggy. Like, what are my clear next steps? What am I doing? I don't know. I'm feeling a little exhausted right now. And that's because your environment is not um, the one that, it's not the healthiest for your soul. Like, your soul is like, no, we have other plans. Your soul's like, we have a new idea, we have a new vision, but we got to let go of what is not working inside of our environment, whatever that may be. And only you know what that is. We never even want to presume to know what that is, but we want to figure out if there's an energy that is, it's a bit sad, it's a bit sorrow. We want to make sure that the environment loves you, wants to take care of you, wants what's best for you, is giving you the respect that you deserve, is honoring you in all ways that you deserve to be honored, goes out of their way to take care of you. Um, the universe is telling me how important you are, like, in existence. And we were talking about this earlier. Like, existence itself needs your wisdom to be shared to anyone who can receive it here on this planet. So we would love it if you pulled this new vision twice, and so many possibilities. But we do have to let go of the stuff that would be considered lower vibrational energy that's no longer serving you. It no longer serves your soul moving forward. And we've done this. We've had these experiences, and we can move on from these experiences. We no longer need to repeat or go back or do this again. We're good. So what's so great is that we want you to make sure that you're around people, new people, hopefully, that you'll meet that would be considered your tribe. And what I mean by that is they have nothing but love for you. They want to hear what's inside of your heart and inside of your soul. They want to listen to your wisdom. They want to support you in this new vision, new ideas, new journey, new path that you have, potentially just waiting for you to choose. They're like, just make that choice and we got you. We're totally supporting you moving forward. And they want you to take like everything that you've been through on this side and just bring memories of love, forgiveness, compassion. We're not going to judge what's happened. We're not going to judge all that stuff. We're going to leave it where it belongs, and we're going to maybe like kind of close the chapter of what needs to be closed so that we can live this life that's literally waiting for us in the light. But we can't get rid of some of that stuff. It's always going to come with us, but we want to make sure we're looking at it with a clear mind so that we're able to receive like the yellow brick road answers on what that looks like moving forward. And again, they're telling me like, go outside, get back into nature, really connect, take your shoes off, go to the beach, hug a tree, garden, um, and just kind of ground back into your earth roots, because your earth roots, that's where love comes from, because God loves you, the universe loves you, you're a child of God. I hope that's okay to say.
Absolutely.
Okay. Thank you. And they want to let me know that, you know and they call this a silent phase, and a silent phase means that Carol is working with Carol and with God. That's the silent phase. And not being lonely, but loving aloneness with merging with the universe and with God and with the frequency. Because they really want you to really acclimate and get out there and pick this goal. So do you know what this kind of new idea or new vision is, or a new thing you have in mind that you want to do?
I really don't. I've been in a 9 year, and so I've just been completing so many things. And so I don't know that it's really just come in yet.
Yeah. It pulled twice, just so you know.
Oh,
Um,
wow.
new
Okay.
vision,
Beautiful.
new vision, new vision. So
Yay.
yeah. And it's not like a normal idea. This is like divinely orchestrated, birthed out of God's vision for you.
That's beautiful.
Yeah. So it's pretty exciting that that's happening. And I see so many possibilities, but I do see like letting go. We have to let go of some things. Um, and again, they're letting me know, like, due to some of the experiences that you've had in the past. I mean, how many experiences have we all had in the past,
Well,
right? We've had so many. And so
hopefully many. Uh-huh.
they just want to say, like, we don't have to know every next step. Everything doesn't have to be perfect all the time. Or not that we mean to, and maybe we don't even mean to sometimes have this like, okay, things have to be done this way. But that's because of some of the stuff we've experienced as children, actually, that we tend to have to hold on to certain things. And they want to like say, please just trust the process right now and trust the journey. It could feel like jumping without a parachute, but God's got you at the bottom.
Okay.
This is kind of what they're letting me know what this feels like. Um, and some of who you're around, they don't fully understand who you are as a person. Some of your circle, they don't fully know who you are. They don't know. And it's the thing is that because you haven't found the outlet to be able to communicate, You haven't really shared that either. We've just
Right.
kind of, right? And they're saying not to share that. These aren't your tribe. This isn't exactly your people. They want you to find your people. And this can be in meetup groups. It can be church. It can be, I don't know where you're going to find them, but open yourself up to the possibilities of meeting new people, because you want to intake some of that light energy inside. And right now, you don't have a lot of sources of light energy coming your way.
Right.
And you're a light being and an ascended master at that. So, light source is your food. Forget regular food. You have to have this in order to exist here comfortably. And so, it's like the most important thing you could possibly do is to find areas where you can get these light sources. I have to do the same. And what we tend to do is when we don't have it and we're not surrounded with, because like even right now, me and you, we're exchanging light energy between the
Right.
two of us.
Right.
This is what this feels like. I'm gaining light energy from you. You're gaining light energy from me because we are of the same frequency. So
Mm-hmm.
we're like, we're breath of fresh air.
We're happy.
Yeah, this is our happy place. And we're feeling really good about that. And
Right.
but when we're not around people like us and we're not exposed to that on a regular basis, we tend to flicker and dim a little bit. And I know I do this. So, and I know this is my same message. I have the same message.
Right.
And even though I'm around people who they seem nice and loving and caring and whatever they are, but they don't have the same frequency that
Correct.
I need to gain this. Like me and you, I can feel are on the same frequency. So this is a clear energy exchange right here. We're breathing good. I'm not filtering through anything I don't, need to filter through. And what's interesting, sometimes when I do readings on TikTok, their vibrational frequency is much different and it shows different. Like the Ascended Master card has never pulled on a TikTok reading, So, and I'll show you this Ascended Master card. Again, it's not for everyone. And you pulled it in the first three, but they really want to remind you to make sure you're not compromising your truth on who you truly are inside, So, and let go of this sorrow. Let go of any energy that might feel oppositional. Don't get involved in any oppositional energy. It's not of your frequency. So just vibrate past that. There's nothing that aligns in that opposition, and then just there is some energy around you that is of a lower vibration, and you want to monitor where that energy is coming from, and frankly, figure out how to remove it.
Okay.
It's a lower frequency energy that's in your field. And it doesn't necessarily, and it feels, you're going to know who it is, probably the first person who pops into your head, but just, and it's surrounded in sorrow. So wherever that is coming from, you want to just.
Do you have a sense of who that is?
There's oppositional fighting energy, narcissistic energy, and double sorrow.
Okay.
I'm going to let you, as I've said it, it will now be highlighted in your energetic frequency field. These things, as they get put into your, again, this is a frequency energy healing, not a reading per se. So as I'm introducing you to these frequency that's in your field, things will now pop up like, oh, that's what she's talking about.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm going to go ahead and be quiet now. Silence is important right now. We don't need to, like that back and forth, wherever that's coming from. They're really saying you need to let that go. I see exhaustion. I do. I see I'm tired of some of the stuff. So, but I see all sorts of fantastic new visions. I see possibilities. I see traveling. Are you traveling anywhere? The traveling card always.
Sunday I have to go up north. Yes, just for a few days. Yeah.
All right. It's so funny that I'm like, what's the point of telling me that they're going to travel? But okay. So, maybe they're letting me know, like, be aware when you go up north, just to make sure you keep your essence of a childlike love for your journey.
Okay.
So enjoy the airport if you're at an airport. Really meditate through the whole thing. You know how that goes. Um, just really enjoy this time that you're able to spend. I think
Okay.
that's letting me know. Yeah. Okay. Awesome.
All right.
We did
Thank
it.
you
You're
so
welcome.
much. I so appreciate it.
Thank you. Thanks for coming on. I'm sorry for waiting as we did. I knew you were over there if I just couldn't get to you. I couldn't get to you. I'm sorry, but thank
Okay.
you so much for coming on. And are
Thank
you're
you so much.
local in Palm Beach?
Yes.
You're local, Carol? You look familiar to me. I feel like we have crossed paths somehow before.
I know, but I haven't tracked where.
Me neither. Even your name looks familiar to me. So I
Yeah.
have a feeling we must be on the same frequency somehow. So keep in touch with us. Make sure you're
Okay.
on for anyone listening, make sure you guys are on our Luta Facebook One Tribe
I am.
page.
Yeah. Hmm.
Oh, good, because that'll be where our events are coming out and where we're going to be meeting and public speaking and doing stuff like that. So
Beautiful.
yeah, and we would love to see you again.
I'd love that.
All right,
Thank
thank
you
you,
so
Carol.
much.
I
Okay.
appreciate you coming on. Have a great
Okay.
holiday and a great vacation. And
You
remember,
too.
love every minute. Stop and smell those flowers. And what we talked about is no judgment and forgive them, for they know not what they do. Have the best. Okay. Talk
Bless you.
soon.
Bye bye.
Okay. That was a beautiful. I love reading. That's a healing. It's so healing for me. It's just as healing for me as it is to the person I'm reading for. It's truly a gift to be able to do. And like I said, these are Osho energy healing cards. They're not like tarot. I have tarot cards too. For anyone who wants a private reading, we have like 3 or 4 decks and we go into some deep stuff. But I prefer to do energy healing this way because anything that comes up allows you to transmute that frequency so that you have a clearer sense. All right, so I have to show you guys something else, a clearer sense of, your life. I have to show you something I made earlier. Bear with me. Okay, where is it? Hold on, I have to find it. For any of you who's messing with this AI, it's hilarious. Okay, let's watch this one. I love AI. Tell me that was not adorable. Happy holidays, everyone. Okay, I made another funny one. And this is just well, this is what I plan on doing over Christmas. Plan on that didn't come out right. Hold on. All right. That's my Christmas and New Year's for anyone who's asking. Which one did you think looked better, Aquaman or Jax? What's his name? Charlie Hunnam. Oof, I love him in Arthur. I love it. All right, so that was my reading. I do see a few of you on here. I want to just give a couple things. Just the holidays can be very, very, very stressful, and I just want you guys to get through the holidays knowing that you are loved, you are cared for, and you are never alone. So holidays can bring out symptoms. I just want to read it too so you're aware. Symptoms of low vibe frequency. We talked about this all day, and it ripples. And this can look like addiction, self-harm, self-sabotage, unexpected consequences, like accidents. That can happen if we're stuck in a low vibrational frequency field. So that's why it's so important to vibrate and meditate out of that frequency using forgiveness, gratitude, acceptance. Drama, chaos, toxic situations. Yeah, that's a little bit the holidays. Feelings of anger, fear, guilt, anxiety, or depression. So just monitor this. Monitor this too. Anxiety and dread before work, anxious at work. Do you feel sad, underpaid? Yeah, we got to watch this stuff. Oh, and here we go. Symptoms of a light worker empath. I love this. I don't remember writing this. You feel drained around certain people, anxious in large crowds. You feel like obstinate for the system. Like you just don't do that system very well. Feel like you don't belong here. There's a feeling like you want to go home, but you're just like, where's home? Not here. Potentially difficult relationship with friends and families, feeling misunderstood. So these are all of the symptoms that you can go through in this next holiday season. Hopefully it's perfect and great, but just monitor your energy, monitor how you're feeling. I may or may not be on. I will probably break, but please look for me in January because I will be having that podcast launching in January. It's going to be very exciting. And also I have a whole set of people who already want to be interviewed. I have a list of them. So I think I might just start bringing them on and see how this goes. If any of you want to reach out to me, let me know. If you feel like you have a story, let me know. And I have Tim here. I have Kim here. Hi, it's been so nice having you guys here on the show today. Happy holidays. Merry Christmas. There's my number. That's Luta phone number. So keep it. You can text me at any moment. If you want to come on for a reading, please come on. Just schedule it with us. And if you have a story, let me know. If you're not feeling well for any reason over the holidays, text me. All right. And we'll make sure that you're feeling better. I don't want anyone to feel like you're alone during the holidays because I understand family can be dispersed all over the country, sometimes the world. Sometimes if, we don't have plans on Christmas Eve or we don't have plans on Christmas Day or New Year's Eve or New Year's Day, that can bring a type of sadness. And I don't want you to feel sad. And I don't want you to feel alone because you're not alone. We're always with you. We love you. We care about you. And we want what's best for you. And remember, God loves you. God loves you. God is always there for you. And if there's anything that you feel like is just a little overwhelming and over your head, I'm telling you, I wrap all mine up and give it to God. Like, you handle it. I can't. It's too much for me right now. I'm doing that right now presently. I'm just praying that God's got the wheel right now, to be honest. God has the wheel of my life right now, and that is all I can say. It's really my next steps are going to be completely in alignment in service. And I don't even know if that means I'm moving, I'm staying. I don't know. I don't know where I'm going to be because God has the wheel, and I trust that. I trust that. So remember, 5 questions. Do you trust God? Do you rely on God? Do you believe God has your back? Do you listen when God guides you? That's a tough one. And do you put God's voice first? That's the second tough one. All right, having said that, happy holidays, everyone. It's been a pleasure with you today. Mwah. I'll see you guys in January. All right. Checking out.
Live every Monday at 8 p.m. Spiritual Coach Kristen and Coach Jocks. We are a global spiritual training academy, here to teach you nothing, because the truth is, you already know. Our role? To help you remember your mission, your message, and the movement you were born to lead. Expand consciously, live authentically, discover your truth, enhance your gifts, master your superpowers. We are light workers and bridge builders, united as a species of Earth, and together we are stronger. Together we are one tribe.